This puppy's soft.
She's Nikki's 4, Corey's 3, right? 3, 4.
Oh, you already got it up?
Yeah. I'm doing it, dude. Sweet.
So it's not started yet. Should I just go ahead and start it?
Yeah, go ahead and start it. They'll just see us.
Sit and chat.
Yeah. Corey's got to scoot in close anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna do. Hey everybody. Nikki Burnett here with Taste Life Nutrition. I am hanging out with Lowell Whiteman of 360 Performance Talk Radio. And we'll also have Chef Corey Puckett in here. And so we don't get started yet for another few minutes, but if you want to sign into the radio show, you want to tell them how to do that?
Yeah, go into KUHSdenver.com. That's one way. Or KUHS Denver, well, first of all, Facebook /KUHSdenver.com, because that gets the Facebook page for KUHS. That's KUHS Denver.
Live.
Yeah, and it's live in both cases. Both you can hear us and see us, or on KUHSdenver.com. You can just listen to us if you're like in your car or on your smartphone. If you don't want to see us, because I got a face made for radio, so that would be the best thing to do. Is probably just listen to us. But it's all good. Looking forward to the show. We're going to talk about nutritional values. That's where Nikki comes in.
Yep.
About meal planning. You know, making good meals, but for high performers, it's fast and still good and well planned, which doesn't always happen all that well connected.
It can be hard, yeah.
Yeah, we try to connect it.
Yeah,
Make it work.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to mess around over here.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of come out here, and Nikki will tell you a little bit more about what she's doing today.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not good at just talking off the cuff, but I know that today is opening for the Rockies, and it's snowing and sleeting outside. So that's a bit of a problem, but I know that we're doing a little celebratory fun beforehand. So after the show and then beforehand. So how much time until we
We got about a minute and a half, and
Okay.
we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL, because there's practices are going to start up and scheduling, because that fits today about, you know, scheduling, making plans. A lot of people, maybe you were one of them, that runs out of the house. Oh my gosh, I forgot my lunch in the refrigerator, or you just forgot to put it in the refrigerator. And then the things in the bag for the refrigerator in the lunch that you wanted to take. So we're going to talk about all that quick but good ways to get yourself prepared and make a good plan, and the nutritional values to all those items that go in there. The thing we're going to talk about is camps are coming up, because the summer's coming up. So moms and dads, you know, you're getting ready to talk to the kids and go to camp, so that it still acts like school's still on, but it's not really school. And you're still doing that lunchtime, breakfast time thing. We'll talk a little bit about the moms and dads and kids, in addition to professional athletes and those fast-paced business people as well. So we'll be back at you in about a minute
Very good.
on a formal basis.
Okay, I'm gonna get myself ready here, so give us just
Awesome.
a few minutes. Okay, are we wearing the ear?
Yes, you have to wear your headphones.
Okay, so I'm gonna touch something. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's metal or not.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
That's all good. Puck, where are you?
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The damage is done. So leave it all behind.
We're still waiting on one another.
Yeah,
Just like the boat out on the water.
we're going to get started with the pre-show stuff.
Okay.
And if he walks,
We
he
will
walks in.
blow you
Okay.
back to me. And no matter what I'm doing, you can and I will always set you free.
Sorry for the delay. We're getting close.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
You can
But talk to us.
Yeah, if you have any questions as we go,
another rainbow across
can't hear myself very well when I have these things on. But if you have any questions as we're going through, I should be able to see them. So post them. Let me know. We can try to answer them as we go along. And are we ready? Oh,
Pretty close.
sorry.
We'll just keep
Okay.
talking.
Okay. Just gonna talk to talk. But love questions. We also have a feed over here to the left, my left, that shows people from around the world that are actually listening into the radio show, which is really cool. Can they ask questions as well? Anybody that's okay?
Yeah. Oh
Can you
yeah.
look at that. Cool. So it's really great to have questions. It's great to have this live, these days, this technology that we have, because you can be a part of the conversation, which is super cool.
Yes, ma'am. All right, we're going to get started here, people. Welcome everybody out there in the international scene. We're going to get our show going after we take a breath and breathe.
Let me get closer, drifting over the water's more.
Oh, America! Are you serious? It is showtime, baby! Here we go! Ram, jam, slam, bam! It's awesome, baby!
360 Mindset, sharing skills and drills wrapped by stories from elite performers and your favorite sports pros. So take your first step. Speak your first word with a foundation of positive thought that comes from 360 Mindset and your host, Coach Whiteman, Lowell Whiteman. Let's get started. No excuses and no regrets.
Oh, absolutely. That is always the case, especially today, because we're going to talk a little bit about nutrition, and I have plenty of places to, perfect that. And in addition to the nutritional value, it's the planning of that, making sure that we fit the right things in our menu into the right time of day. I know that has an impact. Also, how much. I'm a huge portion. I just fail.
A lot of us do.
Oh, I fail at the portion thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to talk about then cooking the stuff and being prepared in the right way in your kitchen, especially when we want to talk about how fast you put that together, because we're busy schedules, and we want to make sure that we're doing it the right way. In fact, as I'm thinking about it here, I'm going to turn your mic up so we got good gain on your mic.
Okay.
With that, so we got that going on.
Do I need to be closer?
No, you're good.
Good.
Welcome everybody this morning. I'm going to make sure this is going good, so you got that, so you don't have to keep bobbing in and out the way you want. But we've got a lot of people all over the world listening today, from Ireland, India, Lima, Peru, and the United Kingdom, Poland, Austria. I love Austria. I want to go snowboarding. Our snow's so bad here, but that's on my bucket list. Australia and Austria are two places I want to go snowboarding. Well, and now there's a third one. I better stop thinking about this.
We're going to start talking about boarding.
Yeah. I want to go to Japan.
Yeah.
And go snowboarding in Japan. So we're here with Nikki Burnett, wonderful nutritionist and colleague and friend. Love to have her on because she's always got great ideas and insightful scientific. I'm a scientist at heart, so scientific thoughts about that. We're going to talk a little bit about bridging the nutritional components of food consumption with the preparation of that food. When Chef Corey Puckett gets here, I'm not exactly sure. I hope he's all right and everything's going well with him on his travels here. He's got some things for us, some goodies for us. But we're going to get started on a couple of announcements. As Nikki said, the Denver Nuggets, Broncos, not Astros, that's the wrong team. Avalanche, no, that's the wrong team too. Colorado. What do we call them again? Rockies. Oh, that's it. The Rockies. Yeah. Sure. Okay, we're going to get to them. That's opening day for them. Home opener today. They opened last week as a team, but it wasn't their home opener. So that's happening today. And such gorgeous Colorado weather. You know, you think about it, it'll change, which it did.
And it did. It's been beautiful.
By the end of the game, it's supposed to be freezing. Like starts at like 39. It's going to freeze by end of game time is what I heard the weather report. But little NFL stuff. There is off-season workout programs. Dates have been announced, and some of those people, the fans, can see it. So if you want to know about this stuff, here's the Denver Broncos. Their first day of workouts that they can officially at NFL, approval is April 16th. That's coming up soon, and then their OTA, which is the off-season workouts. Now remember, those are not necessarily mandatory, and yet if you're a true professional, you're going to participate in that. That starts May 22nd, and then it's on again, off again, all the way to June 7th. Then the mandatory mini camp is June 12th through the 14th, which is when we all get a chance to go check things out and see what's going on. And by the way, everybody should know this schedule is mandated and agreed upon through the collective bargaining process with the NFL and the players. So it's not just, happen chance that I have this schedule. It's not just somebody woke up one morning and say, hey, I think I'm going to go work out today. No, it's NFL Players Association kind of negotiation. So that being said, let's start off, Nikki, with a little bit about where does scheduling the food with the preparation of food sit with you from a nutritional value? I mean, why is it important to synchronize those two things? What I'm going to eat and how I'm going to make it.
Well, so obviously what we eat is a part of who we are.
Yeah.
So, what we put in our body is what tells our body what to do. So the nutrition, the nutrients within the food is communication to our cells and to our DNA. So that is food is not just to fill our bellies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really tells our bodies know what to do because of food. Scheduling it varies so much from person to person and family to family, because some people really like to have their Sunday to put the food together, to schedule out for the week, to do their grocery shopping. And some people like myself, I may be in the mountains, we may be traveling. There are a number of things. We're out playing with the dogs.
Yeah.
For me to spend a couple hours, 3 hours, whatever it might take on a Sunday is just not really what I want to do. And so what I do is I cook big meals. So if we barbecue on a Sunday, which is fun, we barbecue a lot, and we make a lot of food for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
If it's not a Sunday, if it's a Monday night and I'm cooking something quickly, I'll make a salad or make the veggies, and I'll make a lot. So I have lots of leftovers. So I know that if I need to run out of the house for lunch the next day, I've got something that I can grab pretty quickly.
So you're a pioneer household.
Yes.
You go out and slaughter the steer, bring it in on the spit. No, I'm just kidding. No, but that's a good thing to talk about with people, because then it becomes a grab and go kind of thing, because you've prepared it. It's food that can be prepared that way and stored and preserved. And I'm guessing it's not just. So help me a little bit about the different types of food. So like the meats, the vegetables, the greens, fruits, that kind of thing. And how do you, when you make the big meal and then you unitize it basically, what are you adding with it? What are you complementing? What is surrounding the main course?
So.
And you're not vegan, are you?
I'm not.
But you'll talk about that, right?
Absolutely,
Okay.
Sure. Well, and that kind of leads into what I was going to say, because as with families, they're individual in their timing and their needs. We're all individual in our needs, in our macronutrient as well as our micronutrient needs. So as far as macronutrients, which are going to be your fats, your proteins, your carbohydrates, our needs are so individual. It depends on our genotype. I know for myself, my genotype is a high carb, low fat, low protein type of genotype. And so that's what I want to find in my clients or people that I'm talking to, so I can tell them, okay, your grab and go is going to be a piece of chicken, or your grab and go is going to be a veggie, a bunch of veggies with a little bit of,
Ranch dressing
coconut
or something.
coconut
Oh.
ranch dressing. Careful. You can make your own coconut ranch
See
dressing.
what my
and
stomach
it's
just
really
did?
good.
It said the wrong thing because it wanted something different. It's just controls my
Make
brain.
it with coconut milk. It's amazing. Fresh herbs. It's awesome.
Okay. And another suggestion you gave me besides the coconut milk was grass-fed beef jerky.
Yes.
Love that
That's a great
stuff.
one.
And
Easy
I
and
was,
fast.
well, and so many flavors. I was amazed at how many different concocted flavors they've got out there. So it's a really good grab and go for me.
It's good grab and go, and if you travel a lot, keep it in your car, keep it in your bag.
Yeah,
I do that. I keep things in my car. I don't travel as much as I used to, but I'll have something to grab and go because I get in a hurry just as everybody else does.
Yep.
And we want to have something quick, and it just makes it really, really easy.
Are there vegetables that you would not recommend as an extended kind of keep it for grab and go kind of things after you prepare it? Because that's always a difficult thing for me to understand. What veggies can I cook? And I know there's different ways of cooking. Obviously, you can not cook them. That's the cauliflower broccoli thing. But then there's the asparagus, which I love. But if I put a vinaigrette on that thing and marinate it for a while, it's not necessarily going to be a good grab and go.
Not necessarily. So, I mean, you want to keep that in mind as you're cooking. If that's what you have to think about for the week, then think about the things that are going to be easier for grab and go. Or make your asparagus, but make something else along with it that is good for the week as a grab and go.
So staying with the veggies for a minute. So I buy a bunch of vegetables at the grocery store, and I know I'm going to cook a big meal, but I'm going to be conscious of when. So if I shop on a Sunday, and let's say I buy asparagus, is there any way to kind of preserve it in the refrigerator so I don't degrade the nutritional value?
Oh my goodness, the best thing in the world that I've found, and this isn't necessarily just for cooking, but I would say this is more for raw veggies, so I hope this kind of along the same lines.
It is.
But if you've ever been to, you can get a Bed Bath & Beyond, Vitamin Cottage, Whole Foods, for those of us here, but you can get them really anywhere, online, Amazon, but they're little blue apples. And these little blue apples have inside them little packets that soak up the chemical that degrading vegetables put off. So the degrading vegetables put off a chemical that degrades other vegetables more quickly.
So in the veggie drawer, you got some bad things going on.
Right, exactly. Everything's going to degrade in time, and even with the beautiful blue apple, it's going to degrade. But I swear it extends the life 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's amazing.
That's very cool.
You change it out only every 3 months. You open the apple, put another little packet in. They're not expensive, and they will save you so much money in vegetables. And lots of people don't think about putting things in a freezer. When something is starting to hit the end of its life, even if it's a banana that's brown, stick it in the freezer because that makes it sweet and yummy. You can use it in smoothies, stuff like that. So
nice.
Use your freezer.
Well, and I recently, because I want, we buy economically, but sometimes it's too much quantity for just the 2 of us.
Yep.
And so recently we discovered that if you put that little clump of asparagus that's wrapped up with rubber bands in a glass of water in the refrigerator, first of all, it keeps it more succulent and doesn't dry it out like a refrigerator could. But then that apple thing, I like that, especially for other types of vegetables.
Yeah. Another thing like the asparagus that you can do is you can take fresh herbs, cilantro and parsley and those things, and I'll cut off the ends just like you would fresh flowers and stick them in water, and they'll last in the refrigerator as long as it's not too close to where they end up freezing. But they'll last for weeks, a couple of weeks, maybe more in the refrigerator.
All right, so we're talking with Nikki Burnett, and we're hoping that Corey Puckett is safe. It's kind of slushy and cruddy outside today.
It is. It was 27 too when I drove up.
And Tanya, Meekum, if you're listening, I'm gonna call you. I apologize.
Tanya.
Yeah, I got it right here on my phone. I'm gonna get back to you, girl. I couldn't find your studio to save my life, but that's me. That's not you. It's me. That's
what all the boys say.
Well, of course, we don't admit to it maps. I don't use a map. Come on. I'm gonna, solidarity. So what we're talking about is planning and connecting through the plan's nutritional value with the cooking of it, the preparing of it. Because, like we said, there's ways to preserve vegetables a little bit longer so they maintain their nutritional value, they don't degrade. But at the same time, we're going to talk about that grab and go, so that you can grow. Boy, it's just a difficult day today. So when we come back from our brief break here, we're gonna talk a little bit about the fast food syndrome, as I call it.
Gosh.
Are you falling? It's one thing to be fast in getting your food,
Mhm.
but sometimes we use that as an excuse to eat really bad stuff.
Yeah.
Because it just tastes good, or
It's
it's
easy.
easy to, it's right
It's right there.
Yeah.
They can just drive in and drive out.
Nah, don't do that.
Yeah. No,
And I actually have players that have a great support group that supplies the cabinets with the right stuff, and they still buy the crappy stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah. They absolutely have no excuse
Yeah.
whatsoever to not get the good stuff. But what we're going to talk about is empowerbodycare.com. That is a great place to go to find just some great lotions, bath salts, and bath oils, I should say, oils, lotions, and bath salts for helping you with inflammation. My athletes use it, and you can buy this online. So, empowerbodycare.com. It's cannabis based, so the cannabinoid process, the organic process of connecting the cannabinoids to the inflammation and nerve system will help you immeasurably. I use it.
it's great stuff.
It's
Medically, it's great
oh,
stuff.
and instant relief. I've got a bad elbow and bad joints from just doing crazy boy stuff, or athlete stuff.
Yeah.
So try that out. The other thing we've got on board now is AvCare, and AvCare is a non-alcohol based lotion for bacterial control. So it actually feels like a lotion, but it doesn't have alcohol in it, so it doesn't dry your skin out. And what's nice about that is, well, for hospitals in particular, you can't have alcohol too close to a flame. You can't have flames.
Right.
So Purell has to be outside the operating room. So you can imagine this:
Interesting.
nurses running in and out,
Mhm.
and then going back into the operating room. Well, AvCare is not that way. So you can go to my website, 360mindset.com, and check out both of those. And got a discount for you on the Empower Body Care products if you use the code LK010. I believe that's the code, LK010. That is the code for a discount on Empower Body Care products
Nice.
at empowerbodycare.com. And they'll send them to you by mail. So even though it's cannabis based, it's CBD. It's not the
Psychotropic.
that's one. Psychotropic effect. So you don't have THC in it. It's legal to send it by mail.
So it's from hemp.
Yes,
and
it's
not
from
from
hemp. It's
marijuana.
from hemp. And then CBD comes from the hemp primarily.
Mhm.
So it's going to be really good for anti-inflammatory lotion. The bath salts are awesome. So if you've got family and friends that constantly just overwork themselves like I do, put this in the bath, a nice warm bath, activates the CBD to absorb into the tissue and really, really impact.
Nice.
It's so effective, you've got to be careful when you get out of the tub. So, it's not that, I'm just exaggerating. Makes you feel really, really good.
You're gonna
Okay.
have to get some.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff.
Great.
And it's got great herbs in it for ginger, and it's truly a high quality spa product. It's not like an analgesic that smells like gasoline. It's good stuff.
Awesome. Fun.
Yeah, I really like it.
I like that.
Okay, so that's a good bridge into our next segment. Because we set the mindset about, just think about the connection of planning your meals in a way that you maintain the integrity of nutritional value, especially if you're in a fast-moving household or if you're in a fast-moving profession that doesn't allow you necessarily to sit down at a meal and absorb it. I would advise you to do that too, but
Yes.
because you need that time for
Yes.
yourself, that alone time.
We could talk about that.
Yeah, it's we don't have the people don't have the luxury. We do go up in natural settings and kind of hang in that. But
Just
anyway,
go to your backyard.
well, there's some people who don't have backyards. They
Balcony.
have a balcony.
Patio.
Yeah, and they can look over the neighborhoods. Oh, I see some grass over there. But yet, yes, a moment for yourself to take in the nutrition and enjoy it. So we're now at the place where we're going to talk about taking that time to eat, and what are some of the basics we need to be mindful of when we're creating the preparation of the food as an event. I mean, that itself is moments for yourself.
Yes. Your creative time, your fun time,
Yeah.
your play time.
So what are some things that people need to be aware of in preparing certain food groups so that they don't diminish the integrity of the nutrition?
Like, are you talking food combining?
Well, no,
Or-
washing versus not washing. Should I
Oh.
cut it a certain way? Mash it versus not mash it?
Okay. Well, so let's talk about washing.
Yeah.
If you are eating conventional produce, that would be from your everyday grocery store, non-organic produce. Though a lot of people will say wash it off, it's fine. So think about this: when you have farmers that are farming conventionally with the pesticides and the herbicides, it's in the ground. What do plants do is they pull all of that up. And so the pesticides and the herbicides cannot be washed off. They will always be in every single cell of that plant, in every cell. So no matter
I
what,
can't cook it out.
no.
No.
And I won't get too sciencey, but there are what's called xenoestrogens in there that really affect our hormones, both men and women, and can really throw us out of whack. So eating organic, or at least knowing where your food's coming from, they may not be organic practices, but they say we don't use pesticides and herbicides. That's great. It makes it a little less expensive that way.
But if I grow it in my backyard, more than likely I'm not going to throw a lot of weed killer on it.
Right. Well,
Herbicides and
some
pesticides.
people do.
Yeah,
but you're right. If you're growing it in your backyard,
They may
which
not know better, and they
I'm
still do
so excited about, because it's almost time for us to start planting.
it. Just remember, it's
But-
Colorado.
I know we still have some time, but we can start preparing now. You can prepare your
My
soil.
point is, I planted my tomato plants last year in May,
Mhm.
thinking, oh, it's awesome,
Yeah.
right? We got snowed on
I know.
in June.
I know.
I went, no, thank
Well,
you.
that's why you have stuff to protect them. I mean, you wrap them up.
I'm an Iowa kid. I don't, they're plants. They should just take it.
Well, so
They should
now you
just
know.
handle it. Yeah, I do
You
know. I do know. But my strawberries did good because I protected them.
Yeah,
I threw
yeah.
stuff on them. But yeah, so
Mhm.
washing is an issue. Like you said, there are certain chemical traits. Knowing where the food came from, so you know they don't have those chemical traits, so that you can wash off whatever surface stuff they put
Sure.
on it.
Yeah.
And I know around here we're kind of spoiled in Colorado and the mountain states because we have so many great local sources of so many great things, vegetables and fruits. And we are then also so close to the West Coast that we get a lot of stuff like in less than 3 days sometimes that
Yeah.
are really, really fresh. So is there any other things about my preparation of food that I should be aware of so I can choose to not diminish the nutritional value?
Well, cooking is always, not always, a lot of times will diminish some of the nutritional value.
Okay.
Vitamins are not very stable with heat. Minerals are always stable. So minerals don't go away. They're, well, essentially rocks, right? They just don't go away.
Yeah.
But vitamins, some of them can take a little more heat than others, some not. But there are foods that we always pretty much want to cook.
Yeah.
Potatoes, sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
They're still full of good, they're still nutrient dense and full of good stuff. But, I think there are some foods maybe that are better cooked than, well, let's talk about the tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato is amazing because it's nutrient dense in different ways, both cooked and raw. So you get great vitamins and nutrients raw, but then you cook it, and that's when you get the lutein, which is great for your eyes. It's a really awesome antioxidant. So,
peeling versus not peeling.
um,
Because you mentioned tomatoes
yep.
and then the potatoes.
Mhm.
Where's a potato? I don't know. Let's
Potato
call
in my
everything
world.
off. Okay, potato. So keep the peeling on, not keep the peeling on.
I keep the peeling on.
Yeah.
I'll, clean it and scrub it, but I'll keep
Yeah.
the peeling on.
I do that.
yeah.
Scrub it, cold water,
Yeah.
get off all the, and then maybe every once in a blemish, cut a blemish
Yep,
out.
cut a
that kind of
blemish
thing.
out.
But
And
I still.
so you do peel it.
No,
you keep
I,
it on.
I use the
Scrub it.
machine to
Yeah.
make my fries.
Yeah.
I go right to the basics.
Awesome.
I make my own
Perfect.
fries.
Perfect,
Yeah.
me too.
Oh, yeah.
If you're feeding your dogs real food, which I want you to feed your dogs real food or your animals, you want to take the skin off.
Okay.
For sweet potatoes, don't feed them regular potatoes, but for sweet potatoes, keep the
Okay.
skin or take the skin off.
Yeah, because I buy the prepared fish and veggie
Okay.
dog food stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and in this case I can get sweet potato. I can choose sweet potato
Mm-hmm.
as my vegetable with the fish, or fowl, whatever I choose for
Sure.
the dogs. But yeah, I knew about that. Is there any other things? Well, what should we not feed from the table?
For dogs,
Yeah.
onions, grapes, raisins. A lot of people will say garlic is not okay. Garlic is okay. In moderate amounts, it's really good for them. So I give my dogs garlic all the time. What am I missing? You don't want to give them foods like the nightshades. So tomatoes, eggplant, potatoes, regular potatoes, peppers. You don't want to give them nightshades.
Okay.
The things that are really, really great for them, cruciferous veggies. So your broccoli sprouts, your cauliflower, those kinds of
My
things.
lab is a cauliflower hound.
Yeah.
Loves cauliflower. I think he
Mhm.
likes just to crunch it.
Yeah.
He does eat it, but
Yeah.
he just loves the crunching part.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've got vegetables pretty well covered. Now, fruits, though. I've got people that are obsessed about peeling grapes.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so I'm going,
What a pain.
yeah, I mean, like, well, they're also a little attentive.
I would
So-
never.
Yeah, I don't understand it,
Yeah.
but is there any reason, I mean, I know oranges, perhaps, like my cuties, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
But
Just because it's kind of bitter and doesn't taste
yeah,
good. But
yeah.
it's not bad. So we use the rind for, foods.
Well, the
for-
essence,
Right,
orange essence
exactly.
and stuff, where you do the rinds and stuff. Is there now apples? Of course, I love apples.
Yep.
Waldorf salad is coming because it's springtime.
Mm.
And then so nuts. Take the shells off, obviously, for those of us who aren't as crazy.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that you would typically think about taking the peeling off, but should leave it on?
Yeah, and it goes back to the fruit. So
Okay.
there's something that I talk to my clients about a lot, and it's not the end all be all. People will say it's the biggest thing in the world. It's not. It's a great thing to do, but it's lemon water in the morning. So
Oh.
it really kind of gets things going a little bit. It's great for the liver. It's just a kind of a really good start to the morning. So a lot of people will take warm water and squeeze the juice in there and then throw the rest away. All of the good stuff really is in the rind.
Okay.
And so if you take your lemon, and really it only takes probably a quarter if you're using the whole thing, just putting it in a cup of warm water. If you have a blender or a Vitamix or something like that, put it in there and get it really, really small and easy to drink. Then you're getting all of the great stuff that's in the entire lemon, and it's amazing stuff. And some say because of the nutrients in the rind, it has some anti-carcinogenic properties.
I never thought about that because I
Yeah.
make smoothies. I might throw a whole kiwi in there.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't take the peeling off.
No reason to take the peeling off a
Just
kiwi.
grind it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think about and the lemon.
Yep.
I like lemon
You
juice.
can stick the whole lemon in your smoothie or just do the lemon juice. Yeah.
Okay, so here's one of my little. It's a recipe, kind of sorta. It's a smoothie recipe that incorporates a lot of what Nikki's been saying, and it's for the grab and go people because you can make a huge smoothie batch and then quart it off into portions into containers you can put in your backpack or whatever.
Are you freezing them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they preserve better that way
Sure.
because then you
Oh,
put them
yeah.
in your bag frozen and they go
Mhm.
the day and
Yep.
it all works well. So I have a veggie fruit combination and my protein fix to add to there's protein in all of it, but the real protein fix is a raw egg. So for every 500 milliliters, I put in 1 egg. That's my measurement. So if I have a full liter, it's 2 eggs, 2 raw eggs. And I put spinach as my go-to veggie, kiwi, banana, strawberries or blueberries. In some cases, if I'm making a liter, I'll use both. And then here's what's really cool. Cinnamon is awesome.
Yeah.
So I put cinnamon in
Mhm.
there because it has a chemical reaction with a lot of the proteins that helps stretch that protein effect out a little bit and keep the balance. So with 2
I
eggs.
have never heard that.
Yeah, with 2 eggs in a full liter, it's about a tablespoon of cinnamon. Now, I'm from Iowa again, so I just do that.
Yeah.
And
I
kinda
don't
guess.
measure anything.
Yeah. I may go in my hand, but no.
Yeah.
So I'll go through it again. Banana, spinach, 1 or 2 raw eggs per 500 milliliters. The other fruit is blueberry. I love blueberries, and around here blueberries are so great.
Yeah.
Strawberries are as well.
Raspberries.
And
I have them wild in my yard.
but the seeds for me, the blackberries, I can't do those. But now raspberries okay because they don't
Yeah.
do very
Right.
big seeds. And then kiwi is the other one.
Mhm.
A lot of those fruits have antioxidants in them.
All of them.
So the really powerful kicker is kiwi. That's the big kicker one for me. And then I put in a tablespoon per 500 milliliters of olive oil, and then cinnamon. All of that together has a lot to do with old guys, dietary wise, nutritionally. It helps a lot. And the energy boost for that is an all day thing for me. It really helps. And the calorie count then, that is I eat breakfast, that's a mid-morning, slurp a little bit, then mid-afternoon, slurp a little bit, and
Okay.
finish it, and have nuts, and yeah, I like green, I like crackers. Ritz,
Crackers
I do
don't
Ritz
give.
crackers.
What? Come on.
Yeah, because it's
You're trying. You're doing. You're so many
know,
good things
I
here, and you're
know, I
telling me
know.
you eat Ritz crackers.
But it's when I was raised as a kid, Ritz crackers and salami. I
Oh,
was a kid.
my
Oh
heart.
yeah, but I was a farm kid, so we made our own salami.
Okay, that's
You know.
without the nitrates and the nitrites. That's
And I was a kid,
A
so
good
now as I
thing.
grow up, I got to change my habits, but it's really tough. And Ritz crackers and peanut butter, oh,
almond butter,
chunky peanut butter.
chunky almond butter.
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. But anyway, so that's my little recipe for
That sounds great.
today giveaway for everybody out there. We're at the little past the half hour. I want to just give Nikki a real good chance to share with everybody, how do you connect with Nikki Burnett? Why in the world would you want to? I don't want. You tell them. So give them those pieces of information and what's going on with you these days. What should we look forward to? Are you going to be someplace? You're going to be talking to anybody?
Oh, I have a few talks around. Where are my talks? There's one coming up in June. Well, it's for a networking group, a ladies networking group. So
Can they join? Can ladies that are listening join
yes,
that group?
yes. So it's Colorado Businesswomen, and so they have a networking group, and this is a workshop essentially. So it's not their typical. I think it's every second. I should know this. I've been going for a couple of years, but every second or third Wednesday of the month they have a luncheon. But then this is
But
a
you're
workshop.
going to post it on your website,
I'll
aren't you?
post it. I'll post it. Yes. Thank you. He's my marketing help. So you can find me. My website is tastelifenutrition.com. You can email me at nikki@tastelifenutrition.com. You can go to my Facebook page. I am doing Facebook Live videos. I'm trying to do them daily, full of different things, and this is my one for today. So that makes it super easy and a lot of fun when I have somebody else involved with me. It's really much more fun than just talking to myself.
She does that anyway.
Yeah, whether Facebook Live or not, I talk
just
to
does
myself. Yeah.
It's kind of a catchy thing. It's habit forming, but it's cool when you're by yourself.
Yeah,
You make yourself laugh. It's really cool. So when you have that women's talk,
Yes.
is there a particular theme you're going to have for that particular one?
At this point, it looks like we're going to talk about stress.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a big one, especially for everybody these days.
And nutritional helps for stress?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Does that include alcohol or not? Sorry.
Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't help, but we think it does.
Yeah, it's a placebo? Is that
It's a placebo effect, yes.
I like a lot of placebo effect. No, I really don't. Calm. But no, I'd like a little, it's aperitif, I'm a snowboarder, so you got to have a little bit of something at the end of the run.
Sometimes it's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're going to talk about that,
Mhm.
and particularly stressors that are unique to women.
I think, I could say
Or anybody.
unique to women, but we all have our stressors
Well, sure
no
we
matter
do.
what it is. And I think as men and women, a lot of times we can handle it differently. And I think we do have different stressors as well. We're unique individuals. We are not the same.
Most men don't admit this, but we don't have a clue what women are about, so that's a huge stressor.
Well, I'd say it kind of probably goes both ways,
It does, but I have my unique ones that you guys don't have.
right? Mhm.
So, and then it goes the other way.
Sure.
You have your unique ones that we
Absolutely.
don't have.
We are
And
very different
therein lies the
beings.
problem of the stress.
Yeah.
The stress chasm.
Yeah.
And here's the bridge, people, for today's show, because that has a lot to do, a stressor like that, or any number of stressors will impact sitting down and having a meal together.
Mhm.
Planning that meal together
Mhm.
in a way that's going to be collegial and friendly and
Fun.
you don't throw any food in it.
No
Well, maybe
food
you
fights.
could.
No,
That
food
could be
fights
fun
can be
too.
fun.
Yeah, I forgot about college.
Depends on the intent, but
Yeah, Jell-O, was that all? Oh, that was so cool to throw Jell-O, and especially if it was green lime Jell-O in the college cafeteria. I hated green lime Jell-O.
just Jello, period. It's
And
just
then
the worst.
we used to try tapioca through a straw.
Oh,
If you could get behind it,
see how different men are
it
than
would
women?
boom. It would make such a great mess. You know, it was, and then you had the ketchup and mustard. Okay, anyway, I digress. So we're now into the environment. So you're in the kitchen. Are there certain things that you should have absolutely in the kitchen to make it easier to make those?
Gosh.
Because you talk about the big
Mhm.
meals, you make the big
Mhm.
meals. I'm guessing you've got your system, right, for breaking
Yeah.
it up into units and packaging and.
Well, kind of. I really no, I don't. So
Okay.
I don't mean to interrupt, but if I put stuff, I just put it all in the fridge and then I grab it out, and so then I'll stick it in a little to-go carton as I go. Or if it's veggies, I'll grab veggies and just take them in my hand. I should be more.
Are you a Ziploc person?
I try to stay away from plastic.
Okay.
So I have it. It's pretty rare that I use it, but I do have it. I try to use glass containers.
Now I have this picture of you walking out to your house like this.
No, because I don't take that much.
Oh, okay, so like this.
Yeah. Or like carrots in my hand, or
Okay.
the jerky, or whatever's in the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
what
I'm
would
just
you recommend as container to compartmentalize?
glass, ceramic. The plastics, heated or not, especially heated, they have so much junk in
Leaching
them.
effect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The PCBs, PBs. I never get that right. BCPs, right?
PCBs.
BC,
PBCs.
PBCs. You know what we're talking about.
It's the bad stuff that comes out of plastic.
The problem is
PVCs.
now. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
PVCs.
God.
Polyvinyl chloride. Just say the scientific thing.
It's not V.
Polyvinyl
It's
chloride.
not vinyl. It's bisphenol,
Oh, I know what you're. Yeah, okay. You know what we're talking about. This is going to bother us most of the
I
day
can't believe that.
to come up with this because we know it and it's sitting in here somewhere in your head.
God.
Okay, so not plastic. Okay, but does that exclude Tupperware?
Yeah. No, I mean, no, it doesn't exclude it at all. So there are things now that are coming out saying that they're the PBC free,
Yeah.
if that's right.
Yeah.
BPC, whatever.
Yeah.
It's free, but there are now similar chemicals with a different name and a different acronym, but it's the same thing essentially, only it's worse.
Okay, so
we have to be so careful.
I'm going to look up who are the suppliers of the free ones that don't have the bad stuff in it, and I'm going to make an announcement both on my website, send it to Nikki, and she's going to put it on her website, and I'll bring it out again next week on an announcement on the
It's a
show.
good idea.
So, poly-free, I'll just shorten it for myself.
Bisphenol.
Manufacturers.
So, what a good one to go to that I'm starting to see now that you can keep is the I just had it in my head. It's not rubber. What's the other? I wasn't prepared for this. Sorry.
That's okay. I wasn't either. I just threw it in there.
I know.
Just
The not latex, not rubber. It's silicone.
yeah.
Silicone.
Okay.
So they have silicone baggies now, silicone sandwich baggies, and so you can use those. You wash them out and keep them, and silicone is fine. So those are good. Now it's a little bit more of an investment, but you keep them. It's like glass. So you can also, what I'll do if I say I have a big salad in the fridge, I'll take a little glass jar, throw some salad in there, and take it with me.
Totally changes my wedding gift list.
Good.
Yeah. So we used to give glass salad bowls in those stackable 3 sizes.
Yeah.
And then there's the more convenient stackable, what were probably plastic, with the lids on.
Yeah.
You know, so now I got to make sure I'm in the silicone glass genre.
Silicone, glass, ceramic,
But
stainless steel.
this is part of the conversation because it's in the kitchen.
Mhm.
What do I need to have there so I can grab and go? So I've got
Yep.
if I got a bunch of kids running around,
Mhm.
I want to make sure I've got the right container to put the smoothie in that I just froze.
Yep.
And making sure that the veggies
Mhm.
are in these containers. Now, what I found for me, I got a camo lunch bag.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's got
Very
gel
manly.
packs. Exactly. It's got gel packs in it though,
Okay.
so I can throw it in the freezer
Yep.
and get it prepped. Now
Yep.
the difficulty is remembering to take it out of the drawer, throw it in the freezer with stuff
Mhm.
in it.
Just keep it in the freezer.
That's what I wound up doing now.
Okay, yeah.
But then it's okay, I got to think about the plan and then put the stuff in it the next morning so I
Yeah.
can take it with me.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. And
Mhm.
and there's so many different themes. There's ones you can get that are like little satchels
Yep.
with handles, as well as the camouflage one with the clip lid. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So we've got containers to take the food. Do you have any helpful hints in your preparation of the meal in the kitchen as far as essential utensils?
So there are two things that I keep on my counter always. I don't have a huge kitchen, so lots of stuff that I don't use every day is going to be put away in a convenient place, but it's
Mhm.
going to be put away. In my kitchen, I have a Vitamix and my food processor, always, because I use them almost daily for me or for the family, for my dogs, always.
So the Vitamix can juice and smooth.
It's smoothie, yeah, or can make soups.
I got a Nitro or whatever the other brand.
Yeah, the bullet. Is it
Yeah,
the bullet.
it's
Yeah.
turn it over,
Yeah. Mhm.
pulse it and
Those
juice.
are pretty good.
But
Yeah, I have one of
I'm
those
wondering
too.
about a juicer though. Should I get a juicer?
I think I talked about this not too long ago. I think juicing is great, but
Mhm.
I think there's a caveat to that. If we do it a lot, especially if we're adding fruit, because that's what makes it yummy, right? We add the fruit, got the sugar, the veggies just kind of plain and bland, and so what you're doing though is you're taking out all the fiber. And so the fiber is important. Fiber is good for processing hormones and for cholesterol and getting them out of the body and so forth. And so if we don't have the fiber, if we're juicing all the time every day, we're not getting the fiber that we need.
Yeah.
So I love juicing. I think it's great. Fresh orange juice, you can't beat it. But doing it all the time is not necessarily the way to go.
Okay.
So mix it up. And we want to do that with our food. We want to mix it up. We want lots of different foods. So the smoothie you were talking about, put in different vegetables, put in different fruits, make it your own, have fun
And
with it. But
I'll recommend. I used to, when my juicer crapped out and I had to replace it, because my Veggie-Matic thing, it's not a Nitro, starts with an N. Oh gosh,
NutriBullet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gosh.
We're
Okay.
having a tough time today.
So celery juice was awesome as a
Mhm.
juice filler to my smoothies, which already had fiber in it.
Yep.
From other
That's a good
sources, like
idea.
a spinach or
Yeah.
something. But for some reason, that celery flavor for me is I just like it. It's invigorating. It's way low calorie, if any.
Oh yeah.
But it's like celery seed in a salad. That kind of effect. So celery juice is one. Carrot juice is another. However, I've really gotten to like the baby carrots and throw those in my smoothies
Okay.
and just
Mhm.
crunch the living bejesus out of that because you get that little orange fleck. Gotta make it look good.
Yeah, food is pretty.
But I get the fiber with
Yep.
that along with the spinach. So yes, get some veggies and mix that up. Now, as we're talking about that, I want to remind everybody about your environment in that we really don't have any excuses anymore. So small, that's interesting, but it's manageable, right?
Mhm.
But it's no excuse. Well, they don't have a kitchen. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Athletes are traveling all over the place. They say, well, we stay in these places. I said, no. You stay in great hotels with refrigerators.
Yes.
And all you
with
have to
full
do is
kitchens.
well, you have to just pick up
Yeah.
the phone and say, hey,
Uh-huh.
I need to microwave something. They're going to
Right.
say no. You're playing a Major League Baseball game in town. So you don't have any excuses, regardless of how big or small your kitchen is. Now, you might say, well, I didn't have a knife, or I didn't have this, or I didn't have that. Again, hotel situation, you can get whatever you need. Now, for those of us who travel for extended times and you choose the places you stay at, full kitchens.
Yes,
And
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, and it's not
the best.
and it's not extra money either. I found that out with all the Marriott suites of the whatever hotel brand it is. They have suites, and that's what that means, suites.
Yeah.
Kitchen. So
It's the best.
So just take be aware that you don't have really any excuses anymore. So I want to make that point about the environment. Now, Nikki, are there any other items that you make sure from a preparation utensil, like a peeler thing or a particular kind of knife that you like, or
Big knives.
yeah, for me a paring knife. I love a paring knife because I like to sous chef it.
Yep.
And paring knives aren't small anymore. They're about yay big. But I like the big chop knife too. I have that. I've got. By the way, people, keep the knuckles against the blades so you don't cut yourself.
Yeah, important.
I learned that. It's not keeping it far away, it's get it close. Anyway, that's another tip for today about
See,
cutting.
right here, it's from
She's got
cut
scars,
myself.
people.
Yep.
My
last weekend.
I got gnarly hands, so it's there's plenty of scars there. So in addition to the utensils, we're talking about the environment, and preparing is a way to be together. And create that environment.
Yeah.
Are there any other accoutrements that add to the environment that you would say, hey, this is what I do, it makes it feel good, besides just the bare bones utensils and stuff?
Music.
Okay, so music is good.
I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but I love
No,
having
exactly.
music on.
It's color, shapes, images, feelings. So you got the smell, the sound, the feel. So we talked about alcohol. Glass of wine isn't bad.
Glass of wine is nice. Sometimes,
and it's also for a lot of chefs, it's a complement to the meal itself, or whatever you're cooking.
Yep.
And then the sound. So you got music, the feel, the temperature. Because we're getting close to spring. The spring season, so we go outside
Windows
on the patio.
Open, doors open.
Go on the patio and that kind of stuff. So how does that impact that environmental component? Impact the consumption of the meal from a nutritional value? Does it enhance the uptake at all, or?
Well, so I don't know about, besides the fact that you're relaxed. So let's talk about maybe kind of what happens physiologically when we're relaxed versus when we are not, when we're stressed. And so there are two places. We have a relaxed, which is a rest and digest, and it's literally a rest and digest phase, place. Your body goes into this physiologically. Then there is the fight or flight. And so when we are stressed and we're in this fight or flight mode, what happens is the blood is essentially shunted to all of the limbs. It's away from the GI, it's away from all of the organs that are going to help you to digest, because your body thinks it has to have it at these extremities in order to live. And so if we're eating in this stressed space, the body won't digest its food, and this happens to us a lot. So even if we're sitting behind our computer and we're working and we're not paying attention to our food, we're not in a rest and digest space. If we're doing what we're talking about, doing a grab and go, is we got to go to the car, which I am guilty of some, we're not in a rest and digest space. And so our food is not going to break down and be utilized properly and as abundantly as it should be. If we're in rest and digest, the body is calm. And so you are enjoying your food. You're thinking about food. Say you say your prayer. I try to say my prayers. Maybe you meditate, you smell it, and you taste it, and you eat slowly. And this allows the body and you to calm, to bring all of the blood into your central organ area, and you can break it down and utilize it. This is an amazing biochemical, physiological change that happens, and we will better utilize our food. It's amazing.
And for high performance people, and whether that's an athlete, an executive, a mom, a dad, because your high performance, just taking care of the family, you're not going to bring the nutrients into the blood system if the blood is not in the place to gather that nutrient. Yep. So that means your energy level will not be satisfied to the level you expected it to be based on the hard work you put into the food. The other piece I want to mention to this that creates the stress for families is, where are the kids? You know, mom's doing the thing, you know, she's looking around, all of a sudden she cuts her finger and she gets angry because she cut her finger because she's watching after the kids. Where's my husband at, or where's my wife at to watch the kids while I'm doing this stuff? Oh my gosh, I cut my finger. So you got to manage that stress. Well, here's some suggestions on managing the behavior of those items or people that create the stress in my life. And one of those things is get the kids involved. Or have tasks for everybody to do. You know, Jilly and Jimmy and Joni can be putting dishes on the table, or, you know, one day it's the dishes, another day it's the silverware for somebody, or, you know, make sure that the table's clean. Whatever number of tasks that you have to assign to manage that time so that you can take a breath, sip your wine as you're cutting up the cauliflower, or you're putting the stuff in the pot of water, or whatever you're doing, so that you can do, as Nikki has said, have those rest and digest moments where blood supply is in the right places and you're able to manage those stressors. The other part of it is have a routine. And to some of us, you have to put it on a board. You have to list it out for the family. We will have a prayer before we consume this food.
Right.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or you do not grab and just start chowing down. You fill your plate, you pass all the items around, you have a process. Now for some of you it is, okay, all the plates are on the food, 1, 2, 3, go.
Right.
It could be that. But whatever it is, have a plan that everybody is able to create that moment of rest and digest for the entire family. Now, with that then being said, okay, got the meal out, we cooked it, we had that, we tried to achieve the rest and digest moments as we could.
Right.
And we're consuming the food. Any thoughts for people about consumption process? Like bite sizes?
Slow, small, put your fork down. Again, it goes back to the rest and digest. So digestion starts in the mouth. And so if you are, you know, just wolfing it down and not chewing properly, then you're not really breaking your food down as much as you want to. So, and it's not always easy, but you know, there are things that we have to think about, and then they become habit. You know, even breathing properly, it has to become a habit because most of us are just shallow breathers. This makes a difference in
my audience, they hear breathing all the time. It's breathe through the nose, out through the mouth.
There you go. Yeah.
Now, as we talk about this, I was giggling to myself because I'm thinking about my first responders and special forces guys. And those of you who are Marines or ex-Marines, you remember here's the plate, here's the fork, it's this, and you would actually have contests of how fast.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, you could be the first to get it all done, and then the plate of food gets bigger and bigger as you get closer and closer to the finals as to how fast you can eat the food. That's not a good thing. So in the military, even though the speed with which you respond could be a matter of life or death, I get that. So I don't want to, you know, confront the commanders.
When, sure.
You have to kind of make it happen. But at the same time, you can also have bars in your pocket for later. So only consume as much as you have the time to consume it, so that you at least give yourself a chance for that rest and digest moment. But with that being said, I know moms and dads are out there going, ain't going to happen in my house. I got lacrosse, I got soccer, I got this, I got that, and they're just starving. And I said, like you're agreeing with me, Nikki, that but you've got to calm them down. Bite size, pace of the food, put the fork down. So if Sunday or Saturday night or whenever it is that you have that meal to practice those routines, please practice them. I was just with my grandkids, so 4 boys and a girl, and they're just constant food monsters. They can't stop thinking about food because they're constantly burning energy. And it's take a break, a moment with them. We actually had my 2 oldest grandsons prepare their list in crayon. We went to the grocery store.
That's awesome.
And picked out their food list, and it was fruit salad for the side with we prepared tri-tip beef. I got to grill it, so I prepared it for them. So they got to set up the table and all this kind of stuff. And what else did we have? Oh, and the dessert was rhubarb and some other fruit.
Strawberry.
Yes, strawberry rhubarb pie and Rice Krispie treats. So that was the desserts.
Sure.
And it was hand done.
Nice.
Not organic, but it was hand done. So my point is to the families out there is to get the kids involved, get the family involved, to do as Nikki has asked, those rest and digest moments. And Nikki, give me your summary of the organic components, all those food selection ideas we talked about earlier about how to select food and where it should come from.
So one thing I kind of want to hit on, because I think it's really cool, is what you're talking about, is getting the kids involved. One of the, I think, a great way to get the kids involved, and it's a lot easier for us during the spring, summer, and early fall, but is to take them to the farmers markets with you. Let them see the food, talk to the farmers. Where does the food come from? Whether it's, meat or the veggies or whatever it is, because when they see that and learn about it, I hear these stories where people don't know where veggies come from. And it's kind of hard for me to believe, but it's out there. So getting them involved in the early part, and if you have the chance and the opportunity, go visit the farms. I know that's not always easy, but a weekend trip to a local farm or ranch, I think, is a really great idea to get them involved and to know where their food's coming from, how to eat their food, and how to prepare it, and all the stuff. So as far as organic, I think I'm a big fan of organic, but I'm not a big fan of the certification process it has to go through, because it's expensive and it makes our food more expensive. And it just doesn't make sense to me. But knowing where your food comes from, so like I said earlier, you go to the farmers and, okay, I don't get it certified because I don't want to pay for it, but I use organic practices. Beautiful. Do it. I think it's great. It's the best thing about getting to know your farmers and going to the farmers markets. Now, there are times when there are some that are less full of junk than others. And so you can go to, many of you probably heard of the EWG's Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen. They change it every year. The foods that are going to be better, or less full of pesticides and herbicides, than the ones that are just really full of it. So that's a place that you can go to help a little bit, but just remember it's there no matter what.
And I've also had good luck with, especially with King Supers. They are really good at knowing their local growers and that supply them. So you can ask questions about local growers. Like when sweet corn comes in, there's a number of different choices they have. But you can ask, is this a organically grown or natural grown product? Or they just ask, do they use pesticides or not? Right. And they will honestly answer you. They have a risk if they don't honestly answer you. So ask questions.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
They have to disclose, fair disclosure. Sure. So ask your growers. They don't just fully put it out there because it costs them money, and they're trying to keep prices down. So ask questions about where does this come from. Much of the stuff, again, as I said, because we're in Colorado, we're close to the natural producers of the cauliflower and the asparagus and the broccoli and the spinach because we're just close. Or it comes in from California, other parts of the country that we're close to. So ask those questions. The other thing to ask is, moms and dads, ask your schools to participate. So if it's hard for you to have a trip to a farm, ask the schools if they're going to have field trips that include that. I know there's many units.
Cool idea.
Yeah, there's many science units that do that, and they're looking for ideas. Wow, what should we do this year? Go to the local growers seasonally, especially in August and September when school starts. We've got the peach festivals. That's a field trip. It's right here in Louisville and other towns around. You've got the flowers and goodness, someone wants to talk to us. Not going to happen.
Nice ring.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you ask those questions at school and ask them early. At the end of the school year is a good time because they're going to be planning their school year coming up at the end of the fall. And before we totally break from today, let's make sure that we tell you a little bit about again where Nikki can be found. Her website again, Nikki, is what?
TasteLifeNutrition.com.
There you go. Look for the updates. I'm going to send you some updates on 360mindset.com. This is a great day. I always love talking to Nikki about the things that she's interested in, especially the glass and silicone containers. Get after that one to preserve yourself and not let those you know what we talked about.
So bad. I should have my phone so I can, this is my phone here, but so I can look it up.
So everybody out there in our international world, have fun. We're closing off. the show today. We're running a little long. I'm getting the stink eye from the man in there. 'Cause
I
we're
think we
going
could go
long.
another hour.
Yeah, this is fun. You know we're going to have Nikki back soon. And I routinely play
Thank
Nikki's
you.
90 minutes and in. So have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for being
guys.
with us. Okay, international people, you're still with me. We're rocking out for today, shutting it down. But thank you so much for being with us. We went a little long. It's been a great show. Thanks to Nikki Burnett and her insights on nutrition.
That's right.
That's okay. They love music. All over the world and beyond.